Well, that's a good question to end it on. What do you think about AI lawyers? I think that is not only a good idea, I think it's a moral imperative. So here's our problem. We have too many lawyers, too many laws, and we have this incredibly immoral thing. We say ignorance of the law is no excuse for not following the law. Okay. So imagine this. You are a poor person, okay? And you're first generation to go to college or get out of the ghetto. You go to the military or, go do something and make enough money that you can actually move somewhere and have a real future. And then you start a business and then you inadvertently break a regulation. Some guy comes by, puts you out of business. And they say, but I didn't know. I said, well, it doesn't matter. Ignorance of the law is no excuse for not following it. If you pass thousands and thousands and thousands of laws every year at the municipal, state, and federal level, it is fundamentally immoral and predatory upon the weakest amongst us to then tell them they have to follow them when they have no means of being able to know that, and the government is unwilling to provide them advice about it. Okay, so here's the thing. What you need to do is you need to create an AI lawyer, and you basically say, okay, we can have as many laws as we want, but until that lawyer is good enough so that when we ask it a question, it can give us a reasonable response like, is what I'm doing illegal? If the lawyer says, yes, it's legal, or no, it's illegal, then the government will give you that as an affirmative defense, even if it's wrong, and say, okay, well, we screwed up, you're off the hook. Because then, for free, society can actually get clarity and answers to the questions about what's legitimate, legal, what's not. It is fundamentally unfair that I have to hire a New York law firm and pay $600 an hour and fill a conference room of securities lawyers to get an "it depends" answer after 3 months. It's what we had to do with Ethereum. We spent $250,000 on that. It is just unbelievable to me that is the barrier to entry for certain fields for fintech. And then your answer is, it depends. Your answer is maybe, more likely than not, but we're not sure. Here's our qualification. And then you go to the government and you say, well, what's the answer? Is this legal or not? And they say, we're not your lawyer, go find one. It's an immoral system. It needs to stop. And I seriously would love to see in a legal DSL form that is machine understandable, and for our laws to be modeled. And the first thing we're going to find is that they're riddled. Remember, I was talking about formal systems, completeness and decidability and consistency. We're going to find that the law is not independent, contradictory, so inconsistent, not complete, a whole bunch of questions that are not covered by law. And you cannot actually decide on whether things are legal or illegal. So it's not a truly good formal system. And then we can have a nice big conversation with policymakers of, would you like a better legal system? And we'll build it. We'll build it in the poorest countries in the world. And because they have better rule of law and better gov tech, they will become the richest nations in the world. And then they will put all these formerly rich nations to shame. And just like all governments that are laden with bad systems and being outcompeted by those with good systems, if they don't adapt, they will die. And that's a good thing. And as the great radio announcer used to, I look forward to next week. Balance check is going to be great. And I do enjoy your questions. We're down to the wire now. Just a few weeks for the summit, a few weeks for the release of Shelley, and then that hard fork. August is going to be a hell of a month with all those blocks being made. You earned this. Thank you. Cheers.